Protests from Uttarakhand to the national capital as India demands justice for 19-year-old Ankita Bhandari. Good evening this Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. The crackdown on the PFI has resulted in massive arrests. Simultaneously, there is an attempt to push back on the crackdown with violent protests and sloganeering. There are claims of alleged pro-Pak slogans being raised, and there is all-out politics. But at the end of the day, do the NIA findings necessitate a ban on the PFI? That's the nub of the issue. We debate after this report.
It has been 3 days since the National Investigation Agency swooped down upon the PFI, arresting the leaders in multi-location raids. In the crackdown, the NIA sealed PFI offices across the country, detained workers of its affiliate organizations like SDPI. 45 top PFI leaders, including Chairman Omar Salam, were also arrested on 22nd. Soon after, there was massive confrontation with law enforcement authorities. While one of the alleged members in Kerala was caught with 2 petrol bombs, other petrol bomb bottles were found smashed outside a house window. It did not just stop with that. In Pune, there were reports of pro-Pakistan slogans being raised. Taking cognizance of the matter, DCP said this.
पोलिसांची भूमिका पहिल्यापासून हीच आहे की जी काय घटना घडली, जे तपासात ज्या गोष्टी पुढे येतील त्यामध्ये कडक भूमिका पोलिसांची आहे आणि जे लोक यामध्ये निष्पन्न होतील त्याच्यावर पुणे पोलीस यामध्ये कडक कारवाई याच्यावर करणार आहेत.
Reacting to these chants, MNS Chief Raj Thackeray issued a warning to PFI, urging the central and the state government to take strict action. Even Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister took cognizance of the matter.
इस देश में और इस राज्य में ये छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की पावन भूमि है. इसमें पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे देने का कोई अधिकार किसी को नहीं है. ये देशभक्त राष्ट्रभक्तों का राज्य है, इसलिए उनका पूरा बंदोबस्त जो हमारा गृह विभाग करेगा. ये किसी को ऐसे नारे देने का अधिकार नहीं है. सरकार पूरी तरह इस बात को गंभीरता से लिया हुआ है.
2 अलग अलग प्रकार के वीडियो आए हैं, उसकी जांच पड़ताल होगी. लेकिन महाराष्ट्र में अगर कोई पाकिस्तान के नारे लगाएगा तो उसको हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं. उसके ऊपर राजद्रोह का, देशद्रोह का ऑफेंस हम दाखिल करेंगे, हमने दाखिल किया है.
However, RJD leader Shivanand Tiwari dismissed the issue, calling it a trifle.
पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद का नारा जो है एक प्रोटेस्ट का इजहार है. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो पाकिस्तानी हो गया, लेकिन एक प्रोटेस्ट का इजहार है कि हाँ भाई अब चिढ़ा रहे हैं, आपको विरोध कर रहे हैं कि नहीं साहब आप जो कर रहे हैं उसका हम समर्थन नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम उसका विरोध कर रहे हैं. और विरोध के स्वरूप जो है पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद का नारा लगा दिया है.
In its remand report filed before a special court in Kerala, NIA leveled some serious allegations of incitement and radicalization by the PFI. Meanwhile, some political leaders came down on the PFI's violence.
Those who consider use of violence as legitimate, they need to rethink. There is no room in any democracy, not just India, in any civilized society, there is no room for people who try to resort to violent methods to achieve their goals.
There were so many incidents. Even then the police was not ready to intervene in those matters. And yesterday when the Chief Minister of Kerala has made a speech in Thrissur in a political function, he was not even ready to denounce the hartal conducted by the Popular Front of India.
Prominent cleric Maulana Sajid Rashidi questioned why the PFI was not already banned.
सारे मुद्दों में विफल हो गई है. अब लोगों का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए PFI को इन्होंने शुरू कर दिया है कि PFI ये है, PFI वो है. हम ये कहते हैं कि इसको बैन कर दीजिए ना. आप इसको बैन क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? बैन कर दीजिए. सबसे आसान तरीका है. जो संगठन इस तरह की आतंकवादी गतिविधि में मुलव्वस हो या देशद्रोह का काम करता हो, उसको तो बैन कर देना चाहिए.
As the crackdown against the PFI enters the fourth day, is it time to ban the PFI group? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
All right, welcome. Let's start our short, quick debate this Sunday evening. Joining me, Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. He's joining live from Lucknow. Professor Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, live from Delhi, teaches at SRCC. Zubair Memon on the other side, political analyst, live from Pune via Zoom, and Ajay Yadav, spokesperson RJD, live from Patna. I'll request my guests to not make it community specific or communal. We are discussing a very important issue of national security. Ajay Yadav, if a crackdown happens, which is between at least 20 security agencies, 15 state police forces, almost half a dozen national security agencies, including NIA, including ED, including IB. What is the problem? Why come out on the streets and protest, Ajay Yadav?
In a democratic country or in a democracy, to protest is the right of the citizen. And if the members of the PFI are protesting, it's okay, they can protest, they can have the demands. But if the protests, if they create violence because of the protest, if they have not taken permission, and if, as it is being discussed today, they are chanting anti-India slogans, of course this is not good. They must be punished, stringent measures must be taken. We must verify the authenticity of their activities, what the police have to say, whether they have probed, investigated into the matter, and they have found out exactly whether they are spreading terrorism. If they are spreading terrorism, they must be banned. And why PFI? Any party, any organization that indulges in such terrorist activities.
Ajay, last heard Shivanand Tiwari was a leader, a veteran PFI. At that, of the RJD, to which you belong. Your leader is saying, what's wrong? It's okay, chalta hai. Yes. Agar Pakistan ka slogan kar diya to, it's okay. It's part of protest.
See, Shivanand Tiwari did speak like this, but then that was not an official statement. That is his personal statement. And as a spokesperson of RJD, I will still vouch on what I was saying, that if anti-India slogans have been chanted, if they have hailed Pakistan Zindabad, they must be punished, and strict actions must be taken against them. But one thing that is very important is that whether Maharashtrian police, whether they are convinced, whether they confirm the hailing of this Pakistan Zindabad slogan. If you look at the reports of the media, ANI, they say they do not want to confirm the authenticity because of high ambience in the noise. It is not very clear whether they have chanted Pakistan Zindabad. If you look at the reports of Hindustan Times Now, even though they do not want to independently verify the authenticity of the slogan. So, of course, there are some media people who are involved in the manipulation of the entire episode. So until and unless the authenticity, until and unless the matter has been investigated, you cannot confirm whether they have chanted,
Yes, you are taking a very reasonable line, Ajay Yadav, but that was not the case with your leader, Shivanand Tiwari, who obviously is a veteran of the party, senior of the party. You are saying he made that statement in his personal capacity. We don't believe. Dr. Vikram Singh, sir, coming out on the streets and protesting, while protest is a democratic right, vandalism, arson and violence are not, sir.
About it like this, but
now I think it's time for me to put the debate in perspective.
I am speaking to Dr. Vikram Singh.
Now let me tell you, a peaceful protest after due permission is absolutely in order. We are a democracy and democratic process are absolutely in order. But in protests where you attack, vandalize and attack automobile, buses and public transport, that is totally unacceptable. Where there is recovery of petrol bombs, this is totally unacceptable. Where you raise pro-Pakistani slogans, it is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't know, my blood boils to hear pro-Pakistani slogans, and my blood boils even more when somebody as senior as Shivanand Tiwari says that it is chalta hai, it is not chalta hai. Whether it is Shivanand Tiwari or anybody, nobody is above the law. And let me tell you once and for all, it may be his personal statement, the party would do well to throw him out of the party. Any person who condones this kind of a misdemeanor and gross act of anti-national activity has no business to be a part of any national political party or any political party. I do hope People have a zero tolerance towards pro-Pakistani sentiments because having a pro-Pakistani amongst you, let me tell you, if Shivanand Tiwari or somebody like him had said that in my organization, rest assured, exemplary punishment would have been given to him in less than 24 hours. Of course, when I say that pro-Pakistani slogans were raised, there are those who did not listen, but there are those who did listen. There are intelligence reports to the contrary. There are police reports to the contrary. They say that pro-Pakistani slogans were raised, and there is video evidence to say the fact. And to condone and dilute the issue is one thing that gives me tremendous sense of shame and also anger. And I do hope that this anger is translated by the police into legal action and push all those behind so that they're at liberty to raise pro-Pakistani slogans behind bars for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. I'll come to you, Ajay Yadav. You have had your say. I have to involve other guests as well. Zubair Memon, what's this Pakistan Zindabad thing? You know, you are Indians. I'm talking about the protesters. You have all the right to protest, not indulge in violence and arson. But Pakistan, I mean, why then, blame when some people typecast the community? Unfortunate, but it happens because of these kind of incidents. Why play into their hands, Zubair Memon?
Good question. I will be obliged to answer it if I have given 22 minutes, 120 seconds, uninterrupted. The gentleman speaking before me outrightly said that there was the slogans and he has the evidence that the Pakistan Zindabad slogans were given out. Sir, I would request him that go ahead and lodge a complaint in the police and give the evidence. Because a leading newspaper and leading news channel in Maharashtra named by Lokmat has clearly stated with his news headlines that Pune police has clearly stated none of the participants in the Andolan or in the protest have chanted the Pakistan Zindabad slogan. You can go and Google the Lokmat channel. And if anyone has a
sedition case has been slapped. Sedition case has been slapped.
You can get the answer.
Sedition charges have been added in the FIR.
If you interrupt me in 2 minutes itself, we will not conclude. You have to.
I'm just correcting. You can go ahead. I'm just correcting
you. You can correct me after my statement, sir. If you interrupt me, this is not kind of a debate that I am coming here, that you interrupt me and correct me while I am speaking. First and foremost, all the news channels I have heard, some are said to be Godi media, some are said to be normal media, all have clearly stated that they do not support or endorse that Pakistan Zindabad slogan was given. If Republic TV has the video evidence and if you are endorsing, then we can debate on that. Are you endorsing that the video is right, or what we are saying is Pakistan Zindabad and it is not PFI Zindabad? Then the debate should be on completely different track. None of the media channels or none of the news channels or none of the print media has clearly stated that Pakistan Zindabad slogans were said. Instead, leading news channels and paper media in Maharashtra have clearly stated that any such kind of slogan was not given. Earlier also in Pune itself, we had seen when great-grandson of Bharat Ratna, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, agitated against the ABVP goons or the BJP RSS goons, same allegations were vented on him. Same allegations were told about him or his colleagues that Pakistan Zindabad statements were given, and in 2 or 3 days or 4 days after the investigation, it was found that in Ferguson College, Pune, none of the protesters who were protesting against BJP, RSS or ABVP were given any Pakistan Zindabad slogans. Same incidents happened during Kanhaiya Kumar. Later on, we went on to see that in JNU, nothing like that happened. Same is going on here. If you are endorsing the statement, if you are clear evidence, go ahead, Mr. Anchor, and tell us that you endorse it was said, then we can debate on that. If you are not
Mr. Memon, you are Mr. Memon. No, hold on. Mr. Memon, hold on. You are there in Pune. I will take your word. It's not a jousting. It's not a jousting happening between you and me. We are not fighting. You are in Pune. I'll take your word. Let's put aside the Pakistan bit of the argument. That's something which is being investigated. We have Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, someone as responsible as that, saying it on record, on a camera bite, that he has instructed the police to add sections pertaining to sedition. Let the police investigate. I am for now believing your word that those slogans were not shouted. Okay, but there is a more important aspect of this. Let me, okay, understood, Mr. Zubair Mehman. I gave you you said 20 seconds, I gave you 2 minutes. And I have accepted your argument. Let me involve Professor Geeta Bhatt also. Professor Geeta Bhatt, what's this argument? National security agencies, as many as 20 of them, come together in an operation spread across months. Massive coordination. And remember, Kerala is not a BJP ruled state. It's not an RSS ruled state. You know, there are states like Telangana. In fact, after Kerala, the maximum number of PFI arrests have happened in Telangana based on an original complaint filed by Telangana police, which reports to KCR and TRS. Now, why this politicization? Why this veneer of protection being given to an organization which is under doubt, under cloud, and being investigated by all these agencies?
Well, yes, it is actually very unfortunate to see that this kind of an apathy and rather a support given by very senior political leaders and some of the political parties who are indifferent to the kind of very successful raids, and the government and the law enforcement agencies, they need to be congratulated that simultaneously on such large number of places the raids were carried out, because irrespective of this particular incident, the fact remains that Popular Front of India as an organization which earlier was also called as the National Development Front is nothing else but the new avatar of the banned organization SIMI. And under this larger umbrella, there are various other organizations which are operating and which have been trying to assimilate funds in a manner which is very, very dubious in the name of community service and in the name of legal aid. Already the Enforcement Directorate has submitted under the Money Laundering Act court in Lucknow, where they have said that nearly 120 crore rupees, which largely in cash has been deposited in the accounts of people who are holding positions in PFI or their relatives. And all this money, large amount of this money is been coming from, countries either from Middle East or from some other countries. And we have seen whether it is in 2014, the Kerala government in its affidavit to the Kerala High Court had submitted that PFI has been involved in 27 political murders and more than 80 attempts to political murder, and in communal incidents, more than 100 communal incidents. This is what was submitted to the Kerala High Court by the Kerala government in 2014. In the kind of unrest which has taken place in the last couple of years, whether it was NTCA riots which happened in Delhi, whether it was a recent incitement in Kanpur, everywhere PFI's name has been coming and their office bearers have been arrested. So this is something which cannot be denied.
Right, Zubair, would you like to answer? Would you like to take this from Professor Geeta?
Absolutely.
But
I like to answer.
the amount of cases building up against PFI, it's tremendous amount of information which shows that the organization does not have best interests of the country in its mind. It might be saying it does social service, but then the kind of radicalization it is creating, the agencies have proved that of the 18 youth who went to Afghanistan to, be part of Islamic State, in some way or the other, had some connection with the PFI before they left. Now, for the community also, this is not in their best interest. Before the country, even for the community. Can't you really understand that this is in the interest of the community as well, as much as for the country?
Of course, it's a very serious issue when something is said or there is a threat to the national security. I would like to bring out a point. In last few weeks, or in last few days, we had a person from Mumbai attached to some organization who clearly stated with a affidavit in the courts that he was involved in planning of bomb blasts done all over India. And if he had not left that said organization, which he has said in the affidavit in the court, they are not the rumors like the RSS BJP bugs. He has said if he had not left that said terrorist organizations, there would have been hundreds of bomb blasts in all over India. That's a very serious issue, and I think that we should be debating on that. That this Mr. Yashwant Shinde or something from Mumbai, he has clearly stated on camera, on video, and given the said
You are
affidavit
mentioning
in the Malegaon bomb blast case, and he wants
you are
to
digressing.
interfere.
That's something which is a very old case. It has been done to death. It has been looked into by agencies.
Last few days. I am telling you about last few days.
You are comparing.
Anchor Mr. Anchor is about last few days.
Anti-national, nationwide, countrywide operations of the PFI. With the absent-minded, with one absent-minded guy who's repeating his charges over 15 years.
You can understand.
Zubair, hold on. You have made your point. You have made your point. I have to go to Jaipur. Very important developments are taking place there. Zubair, please don't indulge in this water.